Another episode of Coach Wondergeddon coming up. We are going to talk fantasy basketball. We are going to talk fantasy football. And we are going to start right after this intro. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Coach Wondergeddon. I am your Coach Wondergeddon. This is the Halloween edition of Coach Wondergeddon. So let me tell you off top, my costume today is Coach Wondergeddon. Can you believe it? I am so original that I dressed up as myself for Halloween. Let's talk about football, shall we? How's that for a segue? It's the bye week, guys. The Atlanta Falcons, Cincinnati Bengals, the Rams, the Saints, they're all on a bye week. Who are you going to use to replace these teams' players, and who are you going to replace them with? No Drew Brees. No Drew Brees from the Saints. No Cooper Kupp from the Rams. You're going to lose Julio Jones from the Falcons. And are you losing Joe Mixon from the Bengals? I don't even know these days because the Bengals are terrible. But what are we going to do? Who are we going to replace him with? Let's find out spot by spot at quarterback. If you are missing a Drew Brees, I'm not saying that these guys are going to replace them, but you are going to get some points in return, in my opinion. At quarterback, Mitchell Trubisky from the Chicago Bears, facing the Philadelphia Eagles this weekend. I think it's going to be a good matchup for him to throw some balls around. He's just come back from injury, so I expect him to be a lot better than he was last week. I'm expecting a nice game from him against the Eagles. I don't think the Eagles' defense is bad. I just think that Trubisky has a lot of weapons that he gets to utilize, and he's going to be a little bit more free to pass against a team like the Eagles. At wide receiver, I have DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf is playing for the Seahawks. He is obviously catching passes from Russell Wilson, and they're playing Tampa Bay this weekend. Another I shouldn't say bad, but not one of the top tier defenses in the NFL. DK Metcalf versus Tampa Bay is a good look if you are trying to steal a game this week. At running back, I would look at Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake just left the Miami Dolphins, and he is now with Arizona Cardinals. He is facing San Francisco. New team, new life. San Francisco's defense is one of the hardest ones in the league, probably second to only New England. So I'm not expecting an amazing day from him, but when you get put onto a new team and you have that new life, you try to get in there and get a little bit of adrenaline going. I think that is a good look. At tight end, I'm looking at a guy like Cameron Brate. Cameron Brate plays for the Bucks. The Bucks are going to be going against Seattle, which is a good defense, but those are the types of games that I find that tight ends get a little bit more usage out of. He doesn't have OJ Howard on the other side as the other tight end, so he's going to get a lot more passes directed to him and not moved around between tight ends, and obviously their deep threats, Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. I have to do a flex guy because some people are going to be losing Brandon Cooks, who possibly has a concussion, so he's definitely losing this week with a bye, and he might be missing a week later on as well. So for my flex guy, if you haven't looked at Danny Amendola, I would look into something like him. He is in Detroit. A lot of people just found that out recently, myself being included. I thought he was out of the league. I find him to be an injury-prone person, but he's playing for the Lions right now, and he's facing the Oakland Raiders. Get him before he gets hurt, I say. I think he's going to make it through this game. He gets a lot of catches as a slot receiver. I think he's going to have a pretty good game against Oakland. If he stays healthy through the whole thing, I can see him getting about 8 to 10 catches. Pick him up if you're short a couple wide receivers. Also, if you have D.D. Westbrook like I did, and he left with 0 points last week, which got me a loss on a week that I thought I could steal on a bye. Then, of course, Danny Amendola, if he's out there, pick him up. I can't remember the exact percentage that is that he's out there and how many leagues he's out there, but he's out there for quite a bit. Quite a bit of leagues still have him out there. Last but not least, in defense, look at the New York Jets defense. They're facing the Miami Dolphins, who absolutely suck. And on top of that, they just traded Kenyon Drake to Arizona. I don't think the running game is going to be very good. I don't know about the passing game being very good. There's nothing really about the Miami Dolphins, who are good right now. There might be a couple guys that I'm forgetting. If there is anyone that you think I'm forgetting, comment section down below, or WhatsApp group. We got a pretty good WhatsApp group going on right now. If you guys have any questions, or if you guys think that I forgot someone, then try to let me know. See if I care. We're gonna talk about basketball in a couple seconds. This season, boys. This season, ladies. I got 3 teams. One team is a 10-team keeper league. I have a 12-team keeper league. And I have a 10-team league that we've been going strong on for about 3 or 4 years. Third place in 2 of those teams. One league is in its first season, folks. 10-team league, the WFBL, my personal league. 10 of us are in there right now. It's the makings of a keeper league. But because it is the first week, everyone had their little tactics. Everyone got their little teams together. I am going to tell you guys the 5 guys that I targeted that I got in 2 of my 3 teams. That's what this one's going to be called. Let me start off by naming off some of the names of the people that I got on one team, that I tried to get on multiple teams and failed miserably. People like Lou Williams, I have on one team. Really wanted him on 2. Jamal Murray, Canadian guy. Kawhi I tried to get. I picked up Kawhi and LeBron James on the same team in one league, so I'm pretty happy about that. Tried to get Valanciunas in multiple leagues, Zach LaVine. I could go on and do this for a long time, guys. Karl Anthony Towns, tried to get in multiple teams. I do have him in one of my 3 teams. Happy about that pick. Steven Adams is in one of my teams. I'm not sure if I would have had him in 2 picks. In 2 leagues, I have Giannis, I have Mitchell Robinson, I even have Rudy Gay on one of my teams. Most likely that is a 12-team league, because usually I wouldn't take a guy like Rudy Gay, not at this stage in his career. Kyle Kuzma's on injury on one of my teams. All those guys that I named off and a whole bunch more. Bradley Beal's out there as well. Eric Gordon. All these guys are on at least one of my teams. A lot of those guys, I told you, as I said, Lou Williams, Lauri Markkanen, Kawhi are people that I tried to get on multiple teams. These are the 5 guys that I got on more than one team that I targeted, and I am happy that I got them. We are going to start in no particular order. Let's start at point guard, folks. The way I had it set up is my point guard that I wanted on all 3 of my teams. I got it 2 out of 3. Is who I affectionately call the fastest player in the league, the Aaron Fox from the Sacramento Kings. 17 points last season, 7 assists. He averages about 1.5 steals a game. That guy, as I said, is one of the fastest guys I think I've ever seen with a basketball in his hand. He is fast, he's efficient, low turnovers, high assists. That's the kind of point guard that you want on my team, on my team, on your team. And on top of that, he's playing beside the guy that I also have on 2 of my teams, Buddy Hield, also from the Sacramento Kings. This guy gives me more than 3 3-pointers a game on average. 21 points, 5 rebounds. He is a shooter. There's a lot of 3-point shooters in the game. He is among one of the best. As I said, 3.5 threes a game average is crazy. Lucky to have him on my team. That is my shooting guard. I have a point guard / shooting guard on my team. He is my old faithful. Love this guy, the CJ McCollum from the Portland Trail Blazers. He's been doing this for so many years. I can't even remember how many years. It feels like he's been in the league for 20. I'm sure it's been less than that. And he's always scored 20 plus points, 2 3-pointers a game, low turnovers. He has the green light to shoot whenever he wants. And he has a guy like Damian Lillard taking off all the pressure on him. So he gets to basically score at will. That's my dude right there, CJ McCollum. At my forward spots, I had to get this guy in here. This is one of my favorite players that everyone dislikes. It tells me why I should dislike him too. But I can't let go of this guy. That's my fellow Canadian, Andrew Wiggins from the Minnesota Timberwolves. 18 points a game. I know. He's super inefficient. I know. He's just one of those guys that you can't rely on. But you know what? If he could just shoot a little bit better, if he could get his foul shots up from barely 70% foul shot shooter, if he can get that up to 75%, that's an extra 2-3 points a game. If you could get his shot selection just a little bit better, that might be 2 to 3 more points a game. He's going to go up from 18 points to 25 points if he focuses just a little bit harder on basketball, and I hope that happens. As I said, that's fellow Canadian, that's my guy. I'm hoping that he has the same faith in himself as I have in for him, because he's on 2 of my leagues, and I would hate to drop him in both of them for being terribly inefficient. Last but not least, my power forward center is Julius Randle of the New York Knicks. 21 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. I expect that to go up maybe all 3 categories, maybe a little bit less rebounds. If he could steal some from Robinson, then that might be good. That might get him a few more. I'm expecting him to get around 24 points a game, maybe 8 rebounds, maybe 3 assists, but I expect at least 20 points and or 10 rebounds nightly from this guy. He's a stud. He's always been for the last few seasons. I've had him on a couple of my teams more than once, and he has not let me down. When he was with the Pelicans, he didn't let me down, and he was just scratching on the surface when he was with the Lakers. I think he got his contract. He's playing for a bad team. He has nothing to prove other than to score. He doesn't even have to win right now. All he has to do is score, and I think he's going to do that with the Knicks, and he's going to have a terrific, most likely all-star season. That is it today. I know, guys. I know. I've been getting pressed on the street about this. I have not talked about UFC in a long time, and I apologize for that. I have not talked about wrestling for a while. I apologize for that. But yo, it's fantasy season right now, guys. It is football. It is basketball. The hockey's going on right now. As I said, I didn't make a hockey league this year. I was in one last year, year before. Stunk up the joint. Stayed away from it this year. So much to do. Like, we're still watching the baseball finals, the World Series. Houston looks like they're gonna take another championship. This time they have Washington Nationals coming so close to beating them, but it looks like I have my money on the Astros. I think they have probably one of the best teams I've ever seen play baseball. Since the Blue Jays, 92, 93. Not to age myself, I was only like, 2-3 years old when that happened. Anyways, that's the show. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week.